The edge of forever. In a quiet village nestled between ancient mountains, there was a legend. The villagers spoke of a place called the Edge of Forever, a realm where time no longer passed, and everything stood still. For centuries, no one dared to find it, fearing the unknown, until a young woman named Ilara, restless and curious, chose to seek it out. Ilara was unlike the others. While the villagers lived simple, content lives, she was constantly yearning for more. She had read every book, walked every path, and watched every sunset, yet something inside her always whispered of distant lands and untouched mysteries. She often gazed at the horizon, where the mountains seemed to kiss the sky, wondering what lay beyond. One day, after years of pondering, Alara made her decision. Armed with nothing but a leather-bound journal and a worn-out map she'd found in her grandmother's attic, she set off at dawn. The map was vague, filled with cryptic symbols, but it pointed to a distant peak shrouded in mist. She believed that beyond that peak, she would find the edge of forever. As she ventured deeper into the wilderness, the familiar gave way to the unknown. The air grew colder, the trees taller, and the path steeper. Days turned into weeks as she pushed forward, her resolve unwavering despite the harsh terrain. Along the way, she encountered strange and wondrous creatures, from glowing butterflies that illuminated her nights to giant trees with bark like shimmering gold. But none were more mysterious than the man she met at the foot of the misty mountain. He was tall, with long silver hair and eyes that seemed to hold the weight of countless lifetimes. Dressed in robes that fluttered even in still air, he watched her approach with an unreadable expression. His voice, when he finally spoke, was as soft as the wind, but carried the gravity of an ancient soul. "You seek the edge of forever," he said, more a statement than a question. Alara nodded. "I do. Can you tell me where to find it?" He studied her for a long moment before responding. "Many have sought it, but none have returned. The edge of forever is not just a place. It is a threshold. Once crossed, you cannot come back." Alara's heart raced. "What lies beyond it?" "Everything and nothing," the man replied cryptically. "You will see the beginning and the end, the past, present, and future all at once. Time will lose meaning, and you will be suspended in eternity." Alara felt a shiver down her spine, but her curiosity was stronger than her fear. "I have to see it," she whispered. The man gave her a sad smile. "Then you must climb to the summit and step into the mist. But remember, once you cross the edge, there is no turning back." With that, he vanished into the shadows of the forest, leaving Alara alone at the base of the mountain. Determined, she began the final ascent. The climb was grueling, with jagged rocks and howling winds threatening to send her tumbling back down. But Alara pressed on, her eyes fixed on the summit, her heart pounding with anticipation. After what felt like an eternity, she reached the top. Before her lay a vast expanse of swirling mist, thick and impenetrable. This was it, the edge of forever. Her pulse quickened as she stepped closer, her feet sinking into the soft, ethereal fog. She hesitated for a moment, the weight of the man's warning heavy in her mind. But Alara had come too far to turn back now. With a deep breath, she stepped into the mist. For a brief moment, everything was silent. Then, the world exploded in a cascade of visions. She saw her village, her family and friends, frozen in time. She saw the earth being born in a violent burst of fire and stone. She saw civilizations rise and fall, stars flicker and die, and the universe itself expand and contract in an endless cycle. Time no longer existed as she had known it. Everything was happening at once, yet nothing was happening at all. Alara was no longer bound by the constraints of the mortal world. She drifted through time and space, witnessing the birth of galaxies and the end of worlds. She saw herself as a child playing in the fields, and as an old woman sitting by a fire. She saw possibilities, alternate versions of herself living different lives, making different choices. It was beautiful and terrifying all at once. She realized then what the man had meant. The edge of forever was not a destination. It was an eternal state of being. She had crossed into a realm where she was part of everything, and everything was part of her. There was no beginning, no end, just an infinite loop of existence. For how long she remained there, she could not say. Time had lost all meaning. But eventually, Elara felt a tug, a pull towards something familiar. Slowly, she became aware of her body again, of the weight of her limbs and the sound of her breath. The visions faded, and the mist began to thin. When she opened her eyes, she found herself standing back at the foot of the mountain. The man was nowhere to be seen, and the mist had vanished. But something had changed. Elara was no longer the same curious girl who had set out on this journey. She had glimpsed the infinite, touched the fabric of the universe, and returned with a deeper understanding of life and its mysteries. As she made her way back to the village, she realized that the edge of forever was not a place to be found, but a state of mind, a realization that life itself is a fleeting moment in an endless expanse of time. She would live her days with that knowledge, forever changed by the journey she had taken. And though she never spoke of it to anyone, in quiet moments, she could still feel the edge of forever whispering to her, a reminder of the vastness that lay just beyond the horizon.